Now come to fourth kind of phrase, that is verbal phrase. A verbal phrase can be a finite verb phrase or non-finite verb phrase. Finite verb phrase is one that can be the main phrase of a sentence. Example, you live, you are living. In a finite verb phrase, there are a number of choices. Tense, past or present, it should, it shows. It's mean if we have a verb phrase, it may be a finite verb phrase or non-finite verb phrase. वर्ब फ्रेज अगर हमारे पास है तो उसमें टू केसेस हो सकते हैं. एक हमारे पास फाइनाइट वर्ब फ्रेज हो सकता है जो कि आई एक्सप्लेन यू अर्लियर, और एक नॉन फाइनाइट वर्ब फ्रेज हो सकता है. फाइनाइट वर्ब फ्रेज कौन सा वर्ब फ्रेज होगा? जो कि मेन फ्रेज होगा सेंटेंस का, जिसमें एग्जाम्पल आपको दी गई है यू लिव, यू आर लिविंग. और फाइनाइट वर्ब फ्रेज जो होगा जिसमें नंबर ऑफ चॉइसेस होंगी. नंबर ऑफ चॉइसेस से मुराद है कि यहाँ पर टेंस होगा, मे बी प्रेजेंट और पास्ट, यानी कि उसमें आपको टेंस दिया जा सकता है कोई सा भी. टर्न एट पेज नंबर 2, फॉर्म परफेक्ट और कंटिन्यूस. इट्स मीन कि आपके पास टेंस होगा, वॉइस पैसिव और एक्टिव, जिसके अंदर आपके पास वॉइस भी दिया जा सकता है, इधर it may be active or passive. Non-finite verb phrase क्या होते हैं? A non-finite verb phrase is an infinitive, gerund or participle. It's mean कि non-finite verb phrase में हमारे पास infinitive, gerund या participle होगा. Verb phrase is a combination of an action verb or and a helping verb, which is also known as auxiliary verb. Yes, action यानी कि मेन वर्ब और हेल्पिंग वर्ब जो कि जिसे हम auxiliary verb कहते हैं. So only verb will be available on verbal phrase. verbal phrase में हमारे पास verb available होगी. Let's look the example. She is writing a letter. Now, only focus on verb, and we have both verbs. First one is helping verb, and writing is a action verb. This is main verb. So, in verb phrase, if we have a verb, so that part called the verb phrase. So is writing a letter is a verb phrase in which we have helping verb or main verb. Phrases are of 3 types. So how many types of verbal phrases? 3 types: infinitive, gerund and participle. Now move to the number 1, that is infinitive phrase. First tell me what is infinitive. Infinitive is start with TO2 plus verb first form. So that's called the infinitive. Now move to infinitive phrase. An infinitive phrase starts with an infinitive followed by objects and or modifiers. So, infinitive phrase is a phrase that starts with an infinitive. It's mean that starts with to and plus verb first form and word as a noun, adjective or adverb. Let's look at the example. You must work hard to pass the test with a good grade. In this example, to pass is the infinitive. As I told you earlier that infinitive starts with to plus verb first form. So in this example we have to pass. So in this example we have to pass. So this is the infinitive. The rest sentence is the test. So this is the direct object of the infinitive. You must work hard to pass the test. यानी कि it's mean if you work hard to pass the test. So to pass is an infinitive and the direct object of infinitive is the test. With a good grade is a prepositional phrase. Why it is a prepositional phrase? Because it starts with W-I-T-H, with. So this is called the prepositional phrase. Now to pass the test with a good grade is called the infinitive phrase. Come to second type of verbal phrase, that is gerund phrase. A gerund phrase consists of a gerund and objects and or modifiers. First, let me explain you what is gerund. So, a gerund is an ing form of a verb that acts as a noun in a sentence. It looks like a verb, but it acts as a noun. Gerund phrase. Parts of gerund phrase. First one is gerund. Number 2 is object. It may be direct or object of preposition. Number 3 part of gerund is, or gerund phrase is, modifiers. Look at the example of gerund phrase. He enjoys playing cricket in the evening. Gerund is a ing form of a verb. So in this sentence we have gerund, that is playing. Now, as I told you earlier that we have 3 parts of gerund phrase: gerund, object and modifiers. So now come to the second part of the gerund phrase, that is object. So cricket is the object, which is direct object. So move to modifier. In the evening is the modifier. So the gerund phrase is playing cricket in the evenings is a gerund phrase. Now he enjoys playing. Playing is a gerund. What he enjoys playing? Cricket. So this is the direct object. And in the evening is a prepositional phrase that modify the playing cricket. He enjoys playing. खेलना पसंद करता है. What he enjoys playing? He enjoys playing. When he enjoys playing? In the evening. He enjoys playing cricket in the evening. So playing cricket in the evening is a gerund. Now move to third type of verbal phrase, that is participle phrase. A participle phrase consists of a present or past or perfect participle and objects and or modifiers. Its mean, a participle phrase is a group of words start with a participle and works as an adjective in a sentence without subject-verb combination. Now we need to understand what is participle. So, a participle is a verb form either a present participle or past participle that acts as an adjective in a sentence. So that's called the participle. Look at the example for better understanding. Look at the example 1. Taking long strides, he soon reached there. Here taking is the present participle because this is the participle but acts as an adjective in the sentence. Long strides is the object of taking. Taking long strides is a participle phrase and this participle phrase modify he. He soon reached there. Yes, who is taking long strides? He. So, this phrase modifies he. Yes, so by one more thing, keep in mind that in participle phrase, by using comma, we separate the participle phrase with the rest of the sentence. As you see, exercise A. Underline the verbal phrases in the given sentences and identify their type. You will do this exercise in your book. So, put a pencil in your hand. I am going to read the number 1 sentence. I like riding my bicycle in the morning. First read the sentence and now underline the verbal phrase in the given sentence and then identify which type it is. We read 3 types of verbal phrase: infinitive phrase, gerund phrase and participle phrase. So first I am going to underline the verbal phrase, that is, yes students, riding my bicycle in the morning. This is the phrase. Which type of verbal phrase? Yes, it's a gerund phrase. So write against the line gerund phrase. How? Because it starts with verb ing form. So it is the gerund phrase. Now move to sentence number 2. Distressed by his rudeness, she did not respond. Yes students, any guess regarding this sentence? Which type of verbal phrase it is? Yes. In this sentence you see the comma. As I explained you in third type of verbal phrase that if a sentence have comma, so so which type of it is? It is participle phrase. Distressed by his rudeness. It is the past participle. This is the prepositional phrase, by his rudeness, and the whole phrase is called participle phrase. Move to sentence 3. Humming a tune, the young man stepped out. Yes, students, any guess regarding this sentence? Yes, in this sentence, we have again participle phrase because in this sentence we have comma and also present participle. So, underline the phrase and write participle phrase. Now move to sentence 4. All the voters are willing to vote for the right candidate. This is very easy sentence. You can easily identify the type of verbal phrase. Yes. In this sentence we have to verb first form. So this phrase is a infinitive phrase. So underline it and write infinitive phrase. Now move to our last sentence. Having seen them off at the station, Rehan returned home. In this sentence, we also have present participle and prepositional phrase. So, and you can see, students, in this sentence we have a comma. So which type of phrase it is? This is a participle phrase. So underline it and write participle phrase. Now exercise A is completed, and this exercise you will do in your textbook. Now move to the last kind of phrase, that is prepositional phrase. A prepositional phrase does the work of a preposition and usually ends with a simple preposition. First, let me tell you what is preposition. A preposition is a word that shows a relationship of a noun or pronoun with an other part of a sentence. A prepositional phrase is a phrase that starts with a preposition and is followed by the object of the preposition. Between the preposition and the object of the preposition are words that modify the object. Let's take some example and understand it. The girl in the red dress is my sister. In this sentence, you can see the preposition in and object of the preposition is dress. And the modifier is the red is the modifier. So look at book A prepositional phrase may contain more than one object. Example, he looked under the table and the chairs. Maybe if you have a prepositional phrase, so it contains more than one object. Like under is the preposition, the table is the one object, and the chairs are the another object of sentence. So it's mean if a prepositional phrase we have, it may contain more than one object. Now move to another. A prepositional phrase expresses a relationship between the object and another word. It shows location. According to the definition of preposition is that preposition is a word that shows a relationship of a noun or pronoun with another part of sentence. Same with prepositional phrase expresses a relationship between the object and another word. Now look at the example. The flower vase is on the table. So here we have on the table is a prepositional phrase in which on is the preposition and the table is object. So it shows where the flower, the table is object. So it shows where the flower vase is kept. The flower vase is on the table. Is it clear? It tells us about the location. Come to the exercise B. Choose the appropriate prepositional phrases from the box to complete the sentences. In box we have all the prepositional phrases. We put the correct phrase in the blank. Now students, move to written work. First, make a title page of term 1 in your grammar copy, and then lesson title, that is phrases and clauses. First you write down the definition of phrases along with example. You can take one example. Then move to kinds of phrase, in which you will take noun phrase with example, adjective phrase with example, adverb phrase with example. Verbal phrase. You write down the definition of verbal phrase and then take a finite verb phrase definition. A part, a finite verb phrase is one that can be the main phrase of a sentence. Examples: you live, you are living. Page number 2, in which we have verbal phrases are of 3 types. You take infinitive phrase definition with one example, gerund phrase definition with one example, participle phrase definition with one example. Now come at page number 3, in which we have last kind of phrase, that is prepositional phrase. First you take the definition of prepositional phrase with one example.